Hey guys! You're watching Big Wins, a show about women in sports by women in sports. My name's Ella.
My name's Reagan.
And we're your hosts.
Welcome to our new show, Big Wins. I don't know if you can see behind us. It's W.I.N.S, Women in Sports.
Yeah.
We thought we were kind of creative with that.
Just a little bit.
We just kind of wanted to have a show to talk about how we got into sports, why we're so passionate about sports, and kind of lifting up other women or people in college who want to get into the sports industry, how we got in the sports industry.
For sure.
Talk about women's sports, men's sports, how women can be knowledgeable about sports because we're underrepresented.
You got it.
Does that work? Yeah. In the sports industry. And so we kind of just want to give ourselves credit and talk about it.
Yeah, I think we just want to be a voice for girls.
For sure.
Girls that like sports, we like sports. We just kind of want to do that for y'all. And
girls
for
in sports
us.
are cool.
Yeah.
I promise.
So we're just going to introduce ourselves kind of so y'all can get to know us. My name's Ella. I'm a junior at Clemson. I'm a sports comm major and a psychology minor. I kind of got into sports because I played sports all my life. It's kind of all I knew for a really long time. And then once I got to college, I was just kind of like, they left. And I was like, wait, a huge passion of mine was gone. And I was like, wait, why do I miss it really, really bad? And I realized that I could make it my life. And Clemson is like the perfect place to do that. So how about you?
Totally. I'm Reagan. I'm a sports communication major as well, brand communication minor. I'm from California, so what brought me to Clemson was sports. I realized that they had a specific sports major, which is very rare.
Yeah, super niche,
yeah,
for sure.
And most colleges just have like a communication major or a journalism major versus Clemson has a sport communication major, so that's why I'm here. I have loved sports growing up. I danced my whole life, so if you want to call that a sport or not, I like to say it's a sport, but it's a big controversial topic. But I always loved watching sports with my dad growing up.
Sure.
College game day, all like football, college football was my, growing up. So I've always loved it, and here I am. Now we both work in sports, which is actually how we met.
Yeah, for sure.
So me and Ella met working for the Clemson Marketing and Fan Experience internship, which we did. I did it my freshman and sophomore year. She did it her sophomore year.
Yeah.
And so we met last year. If you want to talk a little about that.
Yeah, I didn't say I was from Charlotte. I'm from Charlotte, North Carolina. Didn't say that. Not as cool as her, but whatever. Yeah, so like she said, she started before me. I kind of felt like I had a little bit of a late start getting into sports, but like I want to be encouraging and say that I really don't think there's any time you can be too late because there's so many opportunities you can do, and like your effort is kind of what matters. Like you can be involved. It really doesn't. The time frame doesn't matter. So the internship that we did had a lot to do with kind of the production of game days, I would say.
Like the game day experience.
Yeah, for sure. And I kind of went into it not really knowing like what area of sports I wanted to be in. I don't know about you. And so I was able to do that, and then it pushed me into another internship that I now do with the football team. It's called Tiger Pride, where we do kind of recruiting, compliance, and just all things football recruiting, which is really cool. Clemson's a really good place to I'm sure you agree, but Clemson's a really good place to kind of navigate the sport world and find connections that care about you. Yeah. Because one thing that I've learned about sports is like connections are everything.
Everything.
And like once you have a good reputation amongst people, like that goes so far. So
no, I completely agree. And the athletic department here at Clemson is seriously so helpful.
Yes.
So like they want students to reach out, and I feel like that would be my biggest piece of advice to anyone trying to get into the sports industry is just reach out, find someone's email, even like reach out to me or Ella and DM us or email us or whatever, because everyone's willing to help you in the sports world, and you just got to reach out. You just got to kind of take that leap, kind of swallow your pride and reach out to anyone and everyone you can. Like I said, we did the marketing last year. I'm now doing video production for Clemson Athletics, which is super fun. I've done a little bit of communications for Clemson Athletics, and there is so much to offer there's so many internship opportunities. This is just, we just mentioned 4, and that's probably a quarter of all the opportunities that are there. So highly recommend just reaching out. There's tons of things to do. Also, Tigervision. Yeah. We are both in Tigervision as we're here. This is what this show's all about. And I'm a sports anchor for the news. You can do stand-ups at any of the games. Tigervision's so inclusive and fun, and another way to practice kind of sports reporting, whatever you want to get into. So highly recommend. It's just another thing. Clubs too. There's Association of Women in Sports Club.
Yeah, super cool.
So
they bring in a lot of women that are super impactful in the sports world that are really cool to hear from. I think kind of she hit on a point where my piece of advice would be to get involved with as many avenues and departments as possible. I think going into it, I was like, I want to be in sports, but like where? And I didn't know like what was available to me or not. And especially as a woman and a female in the industry, like you don't know what you're going to be accepted in, what role what it's going to look like sports analytics and football. Like obviously as a female, people are like, oh, like
they look down on you for sure.
And so for me, it was just, as I started, really about building like a really diverse resume, and I'm sure you've also had that experience where now we've been in, you know, fan experience, we've been in marketing, we've been in like comm areas. I feel that makes you a more valuable person in the industry because at least you're able to have that like ability to adjust to the changing environment in sports.
No, for sure. I think kind of the things that we're going to cover on the show is just big trending topics in women's and men's sports. We want to make sure that people know that women are credible and they know what they're talking about. Women in this industry kind of look down upon, like they don't know what they're talking about, maybe you look a little stupid. That's just kind of the stereotype, which I hate. I know you hate, and that's why we created this show. So we just want to show that we're credible. We know sports probably more than a lot of other people know sports, and we want to talk about it. We want to show that we're as passionate as everybody else on this campus, especially men in the industry. But that's just kind of one thing we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about, we're going to have future guests on here because we're so diverse in the Clemson athletic realm. We have so many bosses, so many partners, so many mentors that we want to bring on the show that I think are very enthusiastic about what we're starting and what show we're doing. So we're really excited about that.
We've got to get some girl bosses on
here. Girl bosses on here for sure. There's so many girl bosses in Clemson athletics, we're going to bring them on here. I think that's going to be super fun. Another little segment we're going to do throughout every show is our Rays and L's of the week. My nickname's Ray. Obviously, her name's Ella, nickname L. So kind of our highs and lows of the week, especially in sports. So, I mean, might as well kick it off and do it now.
For sure.
What's your Ray and the L of the week?
I would say probably my high, my Ray. I'm gonna get used to that. No, so I think honestly, I have loved watching Clemson play this year. I know there's a little bit of, a little bit of whispers about us not playing anyone, but I've loved to see the growth on in our young players on our football team. So genuinely like watching that game, that was a really big Ray for me. I've been super sick, so that's probably my L, but I'm better now.
Good.
So we're good.
I know we've been wanting to start the show, but it's been some random things going on. But my Ray would probably have to be the WNBA game last night. I watched it, and I was on the edge of my seat the entire time. I think the biggest lead the entire time was 5 points by the Liberty, which is crazy. It was just a thrilling game, and the New York Liberty took the win, the championship in Game 5. That was just a big win. They're the last original WNBA team. Someone needs to fact check me to win the championship.
I trust you. That's okay. I trust you.
Yes, I know that's right. I don't know if I said it correctly, but yes, they're an original WNBA team, and they won the championship. Now the Yankees are in the playoffs or the World Series, so New York is kind of on a high right
Popping
now
off, yeah.
for their sports.
Come on.
So that's my rave of the week. I loved watching that game. So fun. The L of the week? Probably that we have a bye this weekend for Clemson football.
Yeah.
I am not excited about it. I love Clemson game day. Even if it's away, I love watching the games. But when we have a bye week, it kind of puts a damper on my mood.
It does. But I will say I feel like it's happening at a good time.
Yes.
We're on a high right now, and I feel like, you know, the momentum, we're still going to take it into the next game.
I know we have Louisville and Pitt coming up, which should be some hard games.
Yeah.
So Louisville almost beat Miami on Saturday. So it's going to be some tough games coming up.
Miami's overrated.
I know, but they keep winning. I can't say they're overrated when they keep winning.
It's true.
They keep like skeeting by,
Yeah.
very like
A win's a win.
not winning by a lot, but again, a win is a win. So there should be some hard games coming up for Clemson, so I hope they're working hard these next 2 weeks. But that would be my L because of course I love watching them play, and that is always a damper. When what am I supposed to do on Saturday?
Beats me.
I don't know. I guess
I'm going to a concert, so that should
I
be
guess.
fun.
Like I guess there's other colleges we could watch, but
it's not as fun.
It's not as fun. No, it's Clemson all the way.
What's your favorite Clemson tradition? Would you say?
Clemson tradition? Oh, got me thinking.
Actually, let me say this.
How about you start?
What's your favorite Clemson tradition that you've made? Like that you've made your own? Like for me, I'll start and I'll tell you.
Okay, I'm like, where are you going with this question?
So
give it to me.
every single game day,
Okay.
I wake up my roommates with the Tiger rag.
Oh
It's
my
a
gosh.
tradition, and if someone's not awake, they get their door banged on. There's a speaker, like it's a whole thing. Like every single game day.
And is this like bright and early?
It doesn't matter. Like whenever it happens, it happens. It might be if it's a noon game, yes, it's bright and early. But if you're not up, you better get up.
Maybe I need to start that tradition.
It's so fun.
I don't know. I guess coming from California, that I've never really had big like college game days growing up. So everything here is like a big tradition for me, a big change for me.
Yeah.
I've never missed a home game. I mean, that's I guess a tradition. We did. My favorite tradition is definitely the running down the hill, touching the rock, like. You know, the whole Clemson college experience. Every time it's a night game, I tear up.
Yeah.
When they run down the hill, the big, like, the fourth quarter video, like everything. How can I choose? How can I choose? But I do cry and like get emotional every time.
Yeah.
I don't know
True
if I'm
fan. You're just a true fan.
I guess so. I'm just excited to raise my kids Clemson fans.
Yeah,
That's
so fun.
That's all I'm excited about. But yes, that's kind of going to be our show, and I'm so excited to get it rolling and get it started.
For sure.
That's kind of the overview of what we're going to do. But I'm Reagan.
And I'm Ella.
And this is Big Wins.
Bye.